Every day, without thinking twice, you reach into your refrigerator and pour a glass of milk. Whole, low-fat, or skim. It feels like a simple choice, guided by habit or something someone told you was healthier years ago. Then one morning you actually read the label on your skim milk. Vitamin A palmitate added. Vitamin D3 added. You check the whole milk. One ingredient. Milk. Here is the thing nobody explains. Two of these milks are not simply milk with less fat. They are reconstructed products, engineered in factories, with vitamins stripped out and then artificially added back in. The milk you think is healthiest might be the most processed one in your refrigerator.
Are you a milk drinker?
I am.
What do you drink?
Chocolate milk.
From the moon to the milk. We use it for so many things, yet we're picky about the kind of milk we buy.
For most of human history, milk was milk. You drank it whole, cream and all, or skimmed the cream off by hand to make butter. Nobody worried about fat percentages. Fresh milk straight from a cow separates naturally. Fat globules rise to the top, forming a thick cream layer within hours. That cream is what gives milk its rich mouthfeel and slightly sweet flavor. Fat carries flavor molecules directly to your taste receptors. Without it, milk tastes thin and watery. Then the 20th century changed everything. Heart disease rates climbed sharply after World War II. Scientists blamed dietary fat, especially saturated fat from animal sources. Governments issued guidelines telling people to reduce fat intake. The dairy industry faced a crisis. Their core product had become the enemy. The solution was engineering. Dairies began separating milk into components and reassembling it in measured ratios. Whole milk stayed at 3.25% fat. Low-fat milk became 1 or 2%. Skim milk dropped below 0.5%. These numbers were not natural occurrences. They were industrial standards created to satisfy health guidelines that later research would seriously question. But here's the thing nobody tells you. All three milks start the same way. Raw milk arrives at processing plants in refrigerated tanker trucks at temperatures below 4 degrees Celsius. The first step is separation. Centrifuges spin the milk at speeds exceeding 5,000 revolutions per minute. This force pulls heavier skim milk outward, while lighter cream collects in the center. Now the milk exists as two separate streams: cream containing roughly 40% fat, skim milk containing almost none. For whole milk, processors blend cream back into skim milk until fat content reaches exactly 3.25%. The mixture then passes through homogenizers at pressures around 2,000 pounds per square inch. This breaks fat globules from their natural size of about 10 micrometers down to 1 or 2 micrometers. Smaller globules stay suspended instead of rising. That is why store-bought whole milk does not separate like raw milk does. Low-fat milk follows the same process, but with less cream added back. 1% milk contains exactly 1 gram of fat per 100 milliliters. 2% contains 2 grams. The precision is industrial, not natural. Skim milk receives almost no cream at all. And this is where processing gets complicated. When you remove fat from milk, you also remove fat-soluble vitamins. Vitamin A and vitamin D dissolve in fat, not water. Strip the fat, and these vitamins go with it. To compensate, manufacturers must add synthetic vitamins back in. That is why skim milk labels say vitamin A palmitate and vitamin D3 added. The milk has been disassembled and rebuilt. Pasteurization comes next. Milk heats to 72 degrees Celsius for 15 seconds, killing harmful bacteria. Some processors use ultra-high temperature treatment at 138 degrees for 2 seconds, extending shelf life to months instead of weeks. The final product looks deceptively simple. 3 cartons, 3 fat percentages, but 2 of them required more engineering than the one marketed as less healthy. But wait, there is a nutrition angle nobody mentions. Fat does more than add calories. It triggers satiety hormones that tell your brain you are full. Multiple studies found that people who drink skim milk often compensate by eating more food later, sometimes consuming more total calories than whole milk drinkers. Fat also determines how well your body absorbs nutrients. Vitamins A, D, E, and K require fat for absorption. Drink skim milk with cereal, and your body may absorb less of those added vitamins than it would from whole milk, where the fat is already present. The lowest calorie option is not automatically the healthiest choice. Here is where the story flips. The science that demonized whole milk is now being questioned. Recent meta-analyses found no consistent link between dairy fat consumption and heart disease. Some studies suggest whole milk drinkers have lower rates of obesity than skim milk drinkers. Sweden reversed its dietary guidelines in 2013, no longer recommending low-fat dairy. Other countries followed. The fear that drove an industry to engineer fat out of milk may have been based on incomplete science. Decades of processing, billions of cartons, and the original premise is crumbling.
If you're a calorie counter, you should know too that a cup of skim milk is actually about 90 calories. A cup of whole milk is about 150 calories. Of course, a lot of this, guys, comes back to taste. Some people just like whole milk the way it tastes a lot better than skim milk or 1% or 2%, whatever it might be.
Next time you stand in that dairy aisle, check for one thing: the ingredient list. Whole milk should list one ingredient: milk. If you see vitamins added, the fat was removed and rebuilt. That is not necessarily bad, but you should know what you are buying. If you want the least processed option, choose whole milk. If you genuinely prefer the taste of low-fat or skim, that is valid too. Preference matters. But do not choose skim milk believing it is simply milk with less fat. It is a reconstructed product with synthetic vitamins added to replace what processing removed. The carton that looks simplest required the most engineering. Price is usually identical across types. The real cost is knowing what you are actually drinking. Next time you reach into that refrigerator, you will know. The fat was not just removed, the milk was disassembled and rebuilt. That's the process. We reveal how things actually work, one story at a time. If there's something you'd like us to explore next, let us know. Until then, trust the process.